Today's video is brought to you by my $5 or more patrons at patreon.com/AlexHeitz. Identitech, Andreas Glacial, Laura G. Sanderson, Steve Aldersley, Anthony Coleman, Ray Schuster, David Dockery, Kurt David, and Aubrey Coper. Thank you all so much for sponsoring this video, supporting me and my family in this channel. I hope you enjoy the video. This is the coastal town they forgot to bomb. Well, if it isn't YouTube, I thought I'd see you here. Funnily enough. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm not on my A game today. I'm just like all over the place. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes I hit record and I'm just like, I just don't have it right now. It happens. It happens. I hope you're all doing very well today. Last album we listened to, obviously, Viva Hate. Video's doing pretty well on YouTube, so I think that my Smiths I don't want to say fans, viewers, are kind of, being revitalized with that, but also just like the solo Morrissey fans out there are kind of flocking to it too. So I really hope that you guys enjoy this little trek that I'm going through with Morrissey, because last album I listened to, Viva Hate, pretty good. I liked it. I didn't love it. There's some songs I won't come back to a whole lot, although that's kind of the case with a lot of the Smiths for me. Save for like Queen is Dead, I can just listen to that front to back easy. But like Strange Ways, I'll skip 3 or 4 tracks. Same with Meat is Murder. And then like the debut, there's only like 3 or 4 tracks I actually come back to a lot and that I love. That's kind of the way it is with Viva Hate. Like about half the album I like genuinely will come back to and listen to pretty repetitively. At least that's how I feel now. And tracks that I enjoy. Every Day's Like Sunday was my favorite. That's like one of his biggest songs. Everyone loves it. Bengali and Platforms is pretty solid. Late Night Maudlin Street I've kept coming back to, even though it's pretty long, but it's just a nice chill guitar song. Suede Head Has Grown on Me. Very subtle track. It's just really subdued. There's not a lot to it. It doesn't really have high climaxes. The melody is very subtle. So listening to that one multiple times, it's kind of clicked into place. And the last 3 tracks, I don't mind if you forget me, Die La Cliché, and Magritte on the Guillotine, all pretty solid. That last track is really, really pleasant. For the subject matter anyway. But yeah, today we are continuing forward with Bonad Rag. This is a compilation album. So it looks like the story behind this was after releasing Viva Hate, he wanted to experiment with different ways of releasing music. And instead of doing an immediate follow-up album, decided to experiment with just like doing a bunch of singles. And he initially planned to release a second album after releasing a few holdover singles. But by the end of 1989, it became apparent he would not be able to put out an album of new material soon enough. So he decided to scrap the idea of a full-length LP and release a compilation of singles and B-sides instead. So this is kind of singles he did after Viva Hate, plus a couple of Viva Hate tracks, which we're going to skip because we've obviously heard them, which is Every Day Is Like Sunday and Suede Head. And then just like other B-sides and stuff like that to comprise this 14-track album. So kind of an interesting, like, it's sort of an album, half an album, but it's also half compilation. It's kind of weird. It kind of falls in between those two definitions, I think. But yeah, alt rock, 49 minutes. Yeah, we got Stephen Street again, as well as a couple other producers. Looks like we got Kevin Armstrong, Vinnie Riley makes some reappearances here with piano and guitar. And we have Rourke. Andy Rourke is back on bass guitar on several tracks here. And Mike Joyce looks to be on 3 or 4 tracks as well. So we're getting a nice little kind of, quasi Smiths reunion on some of these here, it appears. Yeah, I think that is all I have to say. It's a semi-long album, so I want to just kind of dive in, and I don't really have anything else to say. So, Piccadilly Palare. Apparently, Morrissey says in his autobiography that he dislikes the song. He called it a student work of novelty that wears off before noon. Yeah, it didn't really jump out to me at all. It was fine. It just kind of seemed like there and gone, you know? Um, Kind of like some of the tracks off of, I'm going to get flack for this. Some of the tracks off of Hatful of Hollow, they just don't feel like they have a home, you know? And Hatful of Hollow almost feels like a boarding house for some of these like singles that just didn't quite go anywhere. Um, but what can you do? That's kind of the nature of compilations, right? They just kind of, you have to take them as individual tracks that aren't really saying like a cohesive thing to really any degree at all. So there's that song. Interesting drug. This has all the Smiths guys back except for Mar. So let's see what this one's all about. Interesting song. Drug song. Drug interesting. Interesting drug song. That was like missing. There was something missing from that. Like it was almost really good. I don't quite know how to put my finger on it. I liked it. I enjoyed it quite a bit, but it felt like there was a missing component that it needed to like kind of, send it up into the stratosphere. And I don't quite know what it was, but good. Good. November spawned a monster. Elizabeth Fraser, is that you? Weird. It's like more of an alt rock song than a pop song. It's kind of long too. Um, Interesting. It's very like it's rockier than stuff off of Strange Ways, but it kind of had that Strange Ways experimentation to it. Like Last Night I Dreamt had like a really kind of like they were toying with samples and stuff like that, and I kind of get that same vibe with this song. It's in that same kind of headspace, but it's a little bit rockier. Not bad. I'll have to come back to that one more to see how I fully feel, but it was intriguing. It wasn't interesting drug, but it was interesting. Will Never Marry. This is an edited version of a B-side from Every Day is Like Sunday. I'm so intrigued by these like small B-sides, you know? Like please, please, please let me get what I want. I find that so superior to the A side that it was on, was like William, it was really nothing or something like that. Like this, I have is like the song I've enjoyed most so far. Like I enjoyed that more than November and Piccadilly. I don't know about Interesting Drug, but it's like that just speaks to me so much more. And I don't know why. I don't know why. It's just very quick, very subtle, but there's a lot of intention to it, you know? Um, Not to say the others are bad, but that kind of stuff is my jam. Such a little thing makes such a big difference. Oh, if that's not the most Smithian long title you've ever seen, there's plenty of them. B-side to Interesting Drug. What do we got?
Such a little thing, such a little, or written words on paper, can you write the very simple things of life? Wielding a bicycle chain, oh, keep their brains between their legs.
Ain't that true? Again, like a B-side that just kind of comes out of nowhere and gets you. I love that little like instrumental change up. I don't know if it's a key change or just kind of like a modulation kind of halfway through there, but good. Good. So far pretty solid. I'm not going to compare this to Hatful of Hollow because A, that doesn't seem fair. B, it doesn't seem analogous. But like personal preference, I might like this one a little bit more just because it's a little more of my wheelhouse. Because Hatful of Hollow just had, for my taste, too many early Smith singles that were just kind of messy to me. Like hand in glove-esque songs that were just kind of like sprawling, rambling, messy. They didn't feel tight. Probably gonna get plenty of flack for that, but oh well. It's just the way I feel. It's the way I feel. This seems a little bit tighter, I guess you could say. The last of the famous international Playboys. This is another single. It's another single. We got Rourke and Joyce as well as Craig Gannon again. Back on this one. So let's see what this one's all about. Yeah, no, yeah. Kind of like a sort of a departure for Morrissey, in a small way. Um, yeah, song about the Cray twins. Apparently, I knew nothing about them. Looked them up. Organized crime during the 1950s and 1960s, as you do, as you do. Anyway, um, yeah, fine song. I didn't love it, but it's fine. Ouija board, Ouija board.
Ouija boards, would you work for me? An old friend. Ouija board, Ouija board. She has now gone from this because I still do feel so horribly lonely.
what a strange song. Like, I know that Morrissey likes to sing about weird subjects, but like this was like a fully themed, like the lyrics were a little bizarre with what was happening, and like the instrumentation just like you couldn't quite tell what it was trying to do. Like it was like just off enough to be like, what? I don't know if I liked it all that much, but I can see why people would enjoy it. I don't know. I don't know how I feel. It's not bad. It's just like I can't put my finger on what that was. So anyway, side B, hairdresser on fire. Oh.
Here is London, giddy London. Psychologically save me. I've got faith in you. This isn't real, and you're always busy. So can you squeeze me into an empty page of your diary?
I got Vicar in a tutu vibes from that. It's like I like to imagine like Morrissey had like a barber appointment and they canceled on him, and so he like made this song out of like anger and protest. Good, pretty solid. That was the B side of Suede Head. So obviously skipping Every Day Is Like Sunday. Great track though. He Knows I'd Love to See Him. It's a B side of November Spawned a Monster.
He knows, he knows, he knows I'd love to see him happy or as close as possible, as close as. And the police, they actually know me. I said I know I didn't know.
Fine. It was just kind of there. You know, there's like some Morrissey or Smith songs where it's like you listen to them and like you're not bored, but you're not engaged, and it happens and then it's over and you're like, I didn't waste my time, but like I didn't invest my time either. It's not a negative. It's not really a positive either. It's just limbo. So, yes, I am blind. This is the B side of Ouija board. So this is probably going to be just an absolute riot. You know.
Yes, I am blind. There must be something horribly wrong with me. I'm the one who stopped you, causing my sorry way I love you. Yes, I am blind. Little lamb, you're just like me, and your life has not even begun.
Oh, Morrissey. Oh, Morrissey. That was kind of like what I described with He Knows I'd Love to See Him, where it's like it feels just kind of like it's there. But the instrumental on that was actually kind of like nice and somewhat dreamy in a way. And maybe that's why I felt that way, is just because I was kind of like lulled into that kind of like stupor of like, ah, yes, She was kind of like wispy. Speaking of wisp, Lucky Lisp.
The saints smile shyly down on me. Lucky Lisp was not wasted on you. Lucky Lisp, Jesus made this all for you, love.
Fine, interesting. These instrumentals are fascinating to me. Like some of these aren't like fantastic or amazing, but like they're just like, okay. Like, you know, these are songs that could have just been like, get a B-side out there, but like I'm always interested when B-sides are somewhat compelling to a degree. Suede Head, we've already heard that. So last track, B-side of Every Day is Like Sunday, we have Disappointed.
All your friends and your foes, to say the least, are truly disappointed. Young boy, I wanna help you. Because the people who are nice, oh, this world, oh. Thank you.
Pretty solid. Pretty solid. Had kind of nice little like rock energy to it, almost like How Soon Is Now a little bit, but a little more poppier, you know? So fine. Bonad Rag. How do I feel about this? It does have that like messy compilation feel, you know. You can't really get away from that because you can't really just like say like this is a good album. It's like it's a list of songs from other places, you know. You have to kind of take it just as like a snapshot of Morrissey at this time, and as a snapshot, it's like pretty good. Honestly, feel like I enjoyed this as much as like Viva Hate. It feels a little longer, and in that way, there's songs on it that I won't come back to as much, but it probably has the same amount of likability, amount of songs I enjoyed as Viva Hate did. But when you factor in the 2 tracks from Viva Hate that are on here, it probably like cranks it up a little bit, but it's like, will the fact that these 2 songs are on this compilation make me not go back to Viva Hate? No. There's stuff on Viva that I will go back to and listen to. With this one though, there's a good smattering. Interesting Drug that I liked. Will Never Marry was interesting. Such Little Thing Makes Such a Big Difference was interesting. Last of the Famous International Playboys and Ouija board. I'm gonna have to really like figure out because I don't know how I feel about those. Hairdresser on Fire was pretty solid, like that one. He Knows I'd Love to See Him. Yes, I Am Blind and Lucky Lisp were probably like my low points. I don't know why. Like most albums I listen to that are like, you know, over 10 tracks or over 40 minutes long, you know, in the 50-minute range, like the last 2 to 3 before the final last 2 tracks or so, like if you split it into fifths, like the third fifth, I don't know why, but I like it just, they don't, it's not even like an album fatigue thing, because it's not like I listened to Disappointed and I was relieved because I was done with the album, so I liked it more. It's just I genuinely liked it more. And I would have liked Suede Head if I had not heard it before. So it's like, He Knows I'd Love to See Him, Yes I'm Blind, and Lucky Lisp were like the low point, and they're all together. And that happened on some Bowie albums as well. I don't know why, but it's just like a recurring thing. Anyway, good stuff. Good stuff. So, I cannot remember what I said I was going to do. We're skipping Kill Uncle. So I think what we'll do is we'll do your Arsenal next, and then we'll do a poll. And with that poll, I'll take like a little bit of extra time off, because I like the polls being able to like kind of give me a bit of a breather, you know. I'm able to take a little bit longer between doing these, because weekly it's like, it's not bad, but it's like it can just get a little, you know, it's a little much sometimes. And I just went through like a really busy first half of June, so that's what we're gonna do. Your Arsenal next week, and after that we will do a Patreon poll. And like I said, I think it was in the last video, I'm just gonna pick random albums I feel like I want to listen to. There's not going to really be any like theme, like heavy hitters or dream pop or glam rock or anything like that I've done before. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah, I'll see you next week. I've been wanting to get more streams out, but I have been trying to figure out like what to do with them, like what content to do the streams with. And I'm still kind of muddling that over. So maybe keep an eye out for streams in the meantime, but probably not. That's just, I want to get back into them again soon, because we finished the best of years playlist. If you haven't seen those, go back and watch those streams. They were really fun, but I'm planning on doing more. I just don't know when, and probably not soon. So there you go. That's all. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you next week. Godspeed.